It began with a choice, a young actor deciding he could no longer carry a secret that hollowed him from the inside. Derek Dixon says he first met Tyler Perry in 2019, a meeting that felt like a door opening to the career he'd been chasing. What Dixon describes next reads like a tragic turn in a dream. Opportunity offered, then weaponized. He alleges that favors were dangled, roles promised, and lines crossed in private moments that left him shaken. For Dixon, staying silent meant survival. Speaking out meant risking everything he had worked for. When Dixon finally went public, the reaction was immediate and brutal. Headlines, heated social feeds, and a courtroom filing seeking accountability. The magnitude of the claims stunned many, not only because of the name involved, but because it forced fans to ask how the industry protects the powerful and often silences the vulnerable. Perry's camp was predictably swift with denials, calling the allegations a scam, while supporters rallied to defend a man whose work has become cultural shorthand for resilience and uplift. In the middle of it all stood Dixon, whose story pivoted the conversation from celebrity worship to the human cost of career-making systems. To understand the emotional weight here, consider the early contours of both men's lives. Perry rose from extreme hardship, building a media empire and a persona that blends faith, family values, and entrepreneurial might. Dixon, like many young actors, came to Hollywood with a mix of talent and hope, believing mentorship would lead to growth. What Dixon alleges is not a single misstep but a pattern where professional exchange crossed into coercion, texts that became sexual, private visits that became violations, and the ever-present fear that saying no would end his chances. It's a story that reads less like lurid scandal and more like a cautionary tale about uneven power. The legal filing and subsequent interviews have peeled back other layers: the emotional aftermath for Dixon, the choices he made to protect his career, and the moment he decided silence was too costly. He's spoken about anxiety, the shrinkage of self-worth, and nights spent replaying encounters that he wishes he could unknow. Friends and former colleagues describe a talent who started bright and hopeful, then grew guarded and cautious after events he says changed everything. For many viewers, that human detail, the drained, ordinary person behind the headline, is what makes the story unbearable and necessary at once. Public reaction has been divided and volatile. Some commentators frame Dixon as a brave whistleblower exposing abuse behind closed studio doors, while others question motives and timing, a split that often follows high-profile accusations. Social media became a battleground of hashtags, think pieces, and debates about due process versus believing survivors, especially when the accused wields considerable cultural capital. Newsrooms have tried to balance coverage, reporting the allegations, noting the denials, and interviewing legal experts about how such cases are proven. The result is a national conversation that extends far beyond one lawsuit. Now the case moves from headlines to the courtroom, where evidence, testimony, and legal strategy will determine the next chapter. For Dixon, the suit is more than compensation. It's a demand for recognition and a challenge to an industry structure that he says enables exploitation. For the public, it's a collision between admiration for an influential creator and the uncomfortable possibility that talent and power can conceal harm. No matter the legal outcome, the story has already forced a reckoning about how ambition can be weaponized, how silence protects systems, and how one person's courage can open the door for many more to be heard. What do you think about this news? Let us know in the comments below.